hint, hint, consistency is required to have compounding, right? Compounding success requires consistency. I just find it fascinating that people don't rely on the one thing that is truly unique in this world, which is themselves. It's you. And then people will share you with people that they know. Hey, CourtneyLSanders here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new to me, I'm a full-time online life and business coach as well as a wife and mom. I wear all the hats and do all the things. And today I want to tell you once and for all why the market is not crowded and how it's much easier to stand out than you think, and how this actually has nothing to do with your niche per se, or the way you brand yourself, or any of those things. There's something much more powerful that if you can master this, I promise you, you will be light years ahead of the competition and you'll never worry about if you're able to stand out again. So if you're curious to know what that is, stay tuned because we're gonna get into it right now. Okay, so when I think about this, what ultimately makes someone stand out and why the market is not crowded, I'm actually taken back to a quote that I remember that hung up in the gym of my high school. So I actually ran track in high school, and they had this quote that said, most people give up what they want most for what they want in the moment. And I have found that to be so true, especially true, unfortunately, when it comes to building an online business, trying to get into the coaching game, trying to, sell yourself as an expert or develop your expertise. Everybody is so focused on what they want in the moment that they're literally giving up what they want most and they don't even realize it. In the moment, everyone wants the feel good of likes, of comments. They want those, quick sales. They want the okay, how do I set up a funnel and how do I get people through so that when I get them on the phone, they, will sign up for my program. And it's all about, how can I get this end result? But what they don't realize is what they really want most is staying power, right? What they really want most is to build a competition-proof coaching business that truly is authentic to them, that accurately represents their viewpoint, their expertise, what they bring in the world, and that is something that is going to stand the test of time. I think about personal brands in the coaching industry like a Tony Robbins, Les Brown, Lisa Nichols. I mean, these names have been around for, 15, 20, sometimes 30 years. Don't you want a business that stands the test of time like that and is something you can literally pass down to your kids? I think about even Mary Kay, who passed down her makeup empire to her son, who runs it, I believe, to this day. I think about, Zig Ziglar and how he had a whole foundation and a whole company. I believe one of his sons or a family member certainly continues to, put these things out. I think about Stephen Covey and, Franklin Covey planners and how these are institutions that have really stood the test of time. And so I've been very adamant that I'm really supportive of helping people build online coaching businesses because it's one of the greatest ways to quickly build generational wealth. It's one of the few industries where you don't need a lot of overhead per se. Yes, you might spend some money in education or business coaching or whatever, but you don't have to get a brick and mortar store. You don't have to have inventory or anything like that. And literally all you're selling is the wisdom that you have, the wisdom that you've developed over the course of your life as you achieved different things, and then you're learning the processes and helping people achieve those things as well. I mean, what a time to be alive, right? What an amazing opportunity this is. That's what you should ultimately want most. That's something that is not only going to help you do those initial things that many people desire, like, quitting your job or having a business that pays your bills or whatever, but imagine having a business that is working for you for a lifetime. I know that that's something that I definitely want most. And so I'm really looking to do more than just, be a coach. I'm looking to be a CEO of a coaching empire. And so most people give that up because they're so focused on what they want in the moment, which is these short-term gratifications. I want the short-term likes, I want the short-term comments, I want the short-term virality, and I want the short-term quick-hit clients who might not even be my best paying clients or the clients that are gonna stick with me over and over again for years to come and are never going to leave my business. Most people give up what they want most for what they want in the moment. And so if you are willing this year, and I say this year because I am recording this video at the top of this year, if you are willing to be one of these people who does the opposite, right? They give up what they want in the moment, ultimately for what they want most, you will have a type of staying power that is going to be difficult for other people in your industry to surpass. And I can say this because I've been online since 2009. 2007 really, blogging since about 2009, made my first dollar 2014, 2015, full time since 2016. I've seen, the gamut. I've seen a lot of, hot up and coming coaches kind of come and then go. They were riding off the backs of, hot new tactics. So this is how you do your Facebook ads, or this is the way we do the funnel, and boom, boom, boom. Let's quickly get the clients in, but they're not doing the deep, hard work, one, of developing themselves as a leader, but two, developing a long-term enduring coaching brand. And so I say the reason that you'll ultimately stand out is because that staying power in and of itself is something that stands out, right? When people are looking for coaching, they're like, is this another flash in the pan person? Is this someone who just like slapped up an Instagram page and is trying to coach people on how to do X, Y, Z? Or is this somebody who's serious and somebody who's going to be around for a while, because nobody wants to spend money with someone who might be a fly-by-night person? So that alone, to be able to say, no, I'm not new to this, I'm true to this, right? I've been here for a while. That alone gives you a type of staying power that others are not going to have. But also, it's going to give you a type of consistency. I find that so many people, because they're focused on what they want in the moment instead of what they want most, end up being ruled by their emotions. So it's this kind of like up and down in business building. They do their first webinar, and because none of this is really based on what they want most, it's just kind of like what they want in the moment. I really need these clients. Oh, they feel bad that they didn't get the amount of signups that they wanted, and they certainly didn't get the amount of sales at the end of that result. Then it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna quit and I'm gonna do something else, or I'm gonna switch my niche, or I'm gonna change up my marketing style, and nothing is consistent long term. And so my emotions are, I felt bad about this, I'm going over here. I felt bad about this, I'm going over here. And so this kind of like up and down, back and forth, not only eliminates that consistency, and hint, hint, consistency is required to have compounding, right? Compounding success requires consistency. Most people will never experience compounding success because they can't stick with something long enough. So because people are ruled by their emotions, because they're focusing on what they want in the moment instead of what they want most, again, they're up and down. They're not thinking very clearly, and they're not able to ultimately produce results and really demonstrate a type of self-leadership that is really necessary in this industry. And so I talk about this actually in depth in my video, which you can check out here, wherever it is on the screen. That is all about the real reason prospects are saying no. But I talk about that a lot of it has to do with you, your energy, your presence, how you're showing up. And if you are, disciplined, you're sticking with something, you know that you're building something for the long haul, not just, for short term. This is not something that you want in the moment. This is something that you want most. That is going to show up in your presence, right? Because that's a good pattern to have. That's, okay, this is someone who's committed. This is someone who's very serious about personal development. This is someone who is mastering themselves before they try to, coach others. This is someone that ultimately I want to work with. That's what your prospects are going to think. And so again, sure, make your branding great and, learn about marketing and do all of these things, but I cannot stress how much you, as the coach, as the leader, your way that you show up is ultimately what is going to resonate with people and is what they are going to find, attractive, and what is ultimately going to make you stand out. I mean, we are in an era where people have done every type of marketing, right? 6 ways to Sunday, right? Everybody's tried every type of funnel, every type of email automation, every type of webinar, every type of this, challenge that, whatever. The marketing is the marketing. If that's all you're relying on in order to stand out, you're never going to be able to stand out. But I just find it fascinating that people don't rely on the one thing that is truly unique in this world, which is themselves. It's you. And so if you package everything that you are, your story, your knowledge, your unique way of doing things, your viewpoint, and you stay consistent with it and you focus on what you want most versus what you want in the moment, I'm telling you, there will be a type of light about you. There will be a type of glow about you that when someone lands on your profile, they see the gems you're dropping, they hear your wisdom, whether it's a podcast or a video or a live stream or however you decide that you want to create your content and do your platform, there's going to be a stickiness to you that will ultimately build. And then people will share you with people that they know. People forget that the average person has a network of at least 150 people. So I see people all the time who lament about, oh, I don't have enough followers, or, how do I get more engagement? If you have 150 people following you, then you really have 150 times 150, because each of those 150 people also is connected to 150. And so when you think about, again, just focusing on making sure that you are being really authentic and and that you are sharing your genius and that you are in it for the long haul. You're not, a flash in the pan, to and fro, doing this marketing tactic and then doing something else. When people see that staying power and they hear what you have to say, they stick. And then they share, right? And over time, it might not be the first few weeks, it might not even be the first few months, but you'll look up and you'll say, wow, I can't believe I've developed this business, and I can't believe people are seeking me when I was just a beginner in this industry over others who are, supposedly heavy hitters. So I hope this is some encouragement for you at the beginning of the new year, or whenever you are choosing to watch this in the future. If you are very serious about doing this and building an online brand that ultimately represents what you want most, not just what you want in the moment, then you're our type of people, and I invite you to sign up for my flagship coaching program. It's called the Next Big Name Bootcamp. You can learn all about it by clicking the link below, and if you feel so inclined, you can apply, and if we feel like you're someone that we can help, we will invite you to a call with our enrollment coordinators and get you all onboarded and set up. And so with that, if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and if you want even more where this came from, make sure you are following me on my podcast, The Courtney Sanders Show, and if you can't wait for my next podcast episode or my next YouTube video, make sure that you are following me on Instagram, CourtneyLSanders on Instagram. And with that, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.